Most YouTubers and internet business owners get buried in endless tasks and productive distractions. But here's the thing, true productivity isn't about fancy systems or sacrificing your sleep. It's about maximizing what time you already have. That's why today I'm going through the exact strategies I use throughout my day when I'm working to stay laser focused. This will create more hours in your day so that way you don't have to sleep less hours. If you're new here, I'm Luke. I've grown from a solo Rocket League coach to building a team and a proper gaming coaching business that's worked with over 3,000 clients around the world. On this channel, I break down the behind the scenes of what actually works when it comes to scaling an internet business and making internet money. In this video, I'll cover 3 things: how I eliminate the top distractions that plagued me and most other entrepreneurs, 2, my method for turning dead time into productive hours, and number 3, my framework for doing more with what you've already got instead of chasing new tools or more team members or more fancy Pomodoro productivity hacks. So if you're running a business or you want to start a business and you feel like you're working hard but not seeing results, I hope this helps your productivity. Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Yapping and Doing Household Chores, High Productivity. And this is actually funny, it's on topic today. Title of the video, you read it, is something like how to be productive, or maybe I'll clickbait it like how I be more productive than 98% of people, although I don't know how you'd come up with a stat for that. I'm gonna be doing dishes and yapping about productivity. The reason is because I get DMs a lot about like, Luke, how do you stay so productive? And I mean, that's kind of like arbitrary. And staying productive, what does staying productive mean? It means not being distracted. You know, like what does being patient mean? It means, well, just waiting, but what's waiting? Well, waiting is just doing something else. So put differently, being productive means not being distracted. In this video, at the age of 22 years old, I wanna teach you, or at least share what's worked for me when it comes to being productive. Because before all the, business strategy and stuff, and before you get into the advanced stuff about making money online, if you watch me, to make money online, or maybe you're just a student and you want to be more productive, or maybe you want to start a side hustle or start a business and you want to be more productive for that. Not being distracted is essential. And I made videos on my channel maybe 2-3 years ago when I was 19 or 20, sharing the strategies I use. And I want to update you guys on what I still use today, because I think those videos are interesting. If you saw any of my old videos, let's talk about the basics. This is level 0 of being productive. Controlling this thing. Genuinely, I think, I'll make a bold claim. I don't think it's ever been easier in human history to be successful with access to this. The fact that I've been able to make, millions of dollars, it's proof of that. But it's also proof of, the fact that it's never been easier to be distracted. And it all comes down to this thing. So like level 0 of being productive is learning how to control your phone. Phones are this incredible invention that sap your attention constantly. And if you are going to be productive, at least this has been something that's worked really, really well for me, you need to accept, or at least I've accepted, phones are better at controlling me than I will ever be at controlling the phone. And so when it comes to getting work done, not taking your phone, TikTok Reels, Instagram, Snapchat, all the social medias, they're designed to hook you. And I have yet to meet a person, doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, whatever level you're at, that is immune to getting distracted by phones. It happens at every level. And so, what are some things that I do? No phone in bed, not laying down scrolling reels, standing up if I'm using the phone, grayscale. Okay, so I set up buttons on, I don't know if I have it set up on this phone, but on my work phone, I have a button set up where you hold down here and it turns the whole screen gray. Not having apps that distract you. I use Instagram sparingly, but I feel like it even uses me. For a period, I would uninstall apps entirely, and just whatever you need to do to not doom scroll and brain rot on the toilet, as the kids would probably call it. You can't be productive if you're distracted, okay? And so one of the things that's helped me most with success, engineering the phone to not be stimulating. Grayscale, not using it during the day, setting it aside. If you want to grow in business or anything, you just need time. And we all have time in our day, you just don't realize how much of it you spend looking at your phone. And so like I'm using it at meal times to do direct messaging, sparingly, like really, really sparingly. You have to be careful of the phone. So that's like level 1 of being productive. But then I also get questions like, Luke, how do you stay so disciplined? And when I get questions like, how do you stay disciplined? I'm gonna give a gym analogy because I started as a gym bro and I think more people can kind of understand gym analogies. It's like somebody asking you like, how do you find the motivation to go to the gym? To be honest, if you're somebody who needs to find motivation to go to the gym, you're not the type of person that goes to the gym. People who go to the gym regularly, they don't worry about finding motivation. They just do it. I hate giving an answer like that, but you know, if I was gonna like give you a more robust one than just like, you're not motivated, it's more like the day that you become so fed up with, you know, being out of shape, that's the day you go to the gym. You know, or not liking how you look, that's the day you go to the gym. The day you become so fed up with your bank account going down and not having money for the things you want to buy, you know, that's one motivation for money. Or just the day you get sick of being distracted, right? Or, you know, feel like you're not working to a goal. That's the day when you become disciplined. It's one of those things where, at least in my life, I found, at least in the beginning, not everybody has passion. And so like you look at somebody like me who has this big YouTube channel and just been making YouTube videos for a while, and like you think, oh, he's just so passionate, he's just doing what he loves. And part of that is true. I'm very grateful for what I get to do. But the other part of me is like, there are many days, many months, in some cases I've gone years not being passionate about making YouTube videos. You know, I've gone months and years not being passionate about the business I'm running. But that doesn't mean I stop running the business. It's, you know, there are many months and years I've been not passionate about my fitness. That doesn't mean I eat like shit and don't work out, you know, and I just give up then and there. And so it's like at level 1, maybe I'm just somebody who's driven by fear and insecurity or whatever, but it's like, find a way to become so fed up with yourself that you want to be disciplined. Become so upset at yourself for all the time you've wasted doom scrolling Insta Reels and going on TikTok and not doing anything and watching YouTube videos and not doing anything that you one day decide, fuck it, I'm gonna turn my phone on grayscale like Luke said, I'm gonna uninstall all the bullshit social media apps, I'm gonna throw out all the shit food that's, you know, in my cupboards. That's like the equivalent of it. So to the person that asked me, Luke, how do you stay so disciplined? It's like, I don't know, dude. One day I was just fed up with how much I was just rotting away and wasting time and scrolling reels and not doing things that mattered to me. And I looked at my bank account and I was just like, you know, I'm gonna figure this out. And then along the way, you uncover other motivations, you know, wanting to serve others, wanting to build a big thing, providing for a team, providing for your customers, making a positive impact. All those things can come and are great and will absolutely motivate you down the road. But in the start, I mean, you don't have any of that. You don't have this big vision. You don't believe in yourself. And so in the start, at least for me, a lot of it was like insecurity driven, fear driven, not being good enough. I mean, I started working out. Why? It wasn't some noble cause. It's like, I wanted to be good at sports and get girls in my high school to give me attention. That was the motivation. Is that why I work out today? Maybe in small part, but I'd like to think mostly no. And so that's the idea with business. You know, maybe you're not inspired about some vision of building a big company, but you've seen people online, maybe like me, maybe more successful than me, hopefully more successful than me. And you know, you look at yourself, you're sick of seeing other people succeed and you think, maybe I can do that. Or maybe I'm just sick of doom scrolling reels or wasting time during the day or not living up to my commitments and not being true to myself and not getting things done that I say I'm gonna do. And so maybe that's your stimulus to get started. Whatever it is, use what you got. I mean, if it's fear, if it's pain, use what you got. If it's big aspirations, dream, passion, good for you, use what you got. I didn't have that when I was getting started. Like I said, candidly, it was a lot of fear and insecurity and still is. I wish, you know, when I was younger, somebody would have given me permission to just say, use what you got. Whatever fuel you got, burn it, get started, get going. And then when you get going, you can figure it out along the way. Other things for productivity. What else do we got on the list? We talked about level 0, which is like, don't be distracted. Just put your phone away. You can't figure out what you want to do if you're constantly distracted. At a certain point, you start doing things you want to do. You find some time because you're not doom scrolling reels to, you know, figure out a business you want to start or figure out that you want to get in the gym or figure out that you want to get in shape. What do you do, you know, to get started? Well, maybe you have enough time to get started just by freeing up time from being distracted. You'd be surprised at how much of the day you spend distracted. But maybe, you know, I work a 9 to 5. The issue is not that I'm sitting in bed, you know, doom scrolling reels and literally distracting myself. The issue is I don't have time in the day. And if that's you and you're somebody who's genuinely really busy, working 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, you know, I don't know, and you want to start a passion or take it to the next level, at some point you have to start naming personal sacrifices. I think this is one thing that gave me a massive advantage early on in my business career. Genuinely, and maybe this is just lucky for me, I haven't cared about a lot of the things that an 18 or 19 or 20-year-old guy would care about. You know, whereas my friends want to go to bars and party, I mean, I'll do it. I don't love it. My friends want to go watch sports and play fantasy football. I don't want to watch sports, you know, and there are a lot of things where it's just like, you know, football on the weekends weekends with the boys, or toga party Friday night, and then getting day drunk Saturday. Like, I just didn't care about a lot of that in college. And so luckily that created a lot of time for me. And I'll give you an even more extreme example. First, you start naming the things that, you know, you wouldn't feel that bad giving up, you know, to create time in your day. We're talking about like freeing up your schedule. There are a lot of things that you could probably look at and be like, I could not do this and I wouldn't really care. I just have to make the decision to not do it. And it's like, maybe, you know, I don't really love playing fantasy football. I'm just not going to play in the league. That'll free up a lot of time. You know, you'd be amazed. You know, I don't really care about you go watching football on Sundays with the boys. That'll free up a lot of time. I'm just giving examples as like a, you know, generic, you know, white frat dude, which is, you know, the archetype I felt like I was pushed into when I was in college. But, you know, if you're a sorority girl, or, you know, I don't know why I'm thinking of like Greek life, but if you're a different archetype, you know, you can use your example, whatever you like to do. Maybe it's, you know, watching Love Island on TV. You know, you can start to pick these low-hanging fruit that take up a lot of your time. But at some point, if you really want to go into overdrive when it comes to being productive, is start like naming big sacrifices. So like for me, it wasn't a big sacrifice to say I'm not going to watch, you know, college sports. I'm not going to do stuff. Some of the bigger sacrifices I made was like, I'm not going to go to the social event. You know, my friends invited me out. I'm going to say no. You know, this friend wants to go out with me. If I don't go out with them, I said no the last 4 times, we're not going to be friends anymore. Okay, what's more important to me, being friends with this person or achieving my goals? And for some people, the answer is keeping your friends. And for other people, the answer is achieving your goals. And for me, it was often achieving my goals. And so I don't want to tell you how to live your life and how to be more productive, but I can tell you what's worked for me, achieving what I have at a young age and hopefully achieving more as my life goes on and as I document the journey. You have to name your sacrifices because we all have the same hours in the day. So it's like, in order for me to make time being on camera right now, I don't have a girlfriend. You know, I don't have a significant other. I'm not, you know, going out on the weekends for people my age. I don't go to the bars. You know, the most social thing I do every week right now is like a morning yoga class with my friends. And that's what I can fit into my schedule. But it kind of depends where you're at, what sacrifice you have to name. And so I don't say that to scare you because most of you aren't at this level. But, you know, maybe if you are at this level where you're kind of running out of time or you're already working your ass off, well then, hey, the next level is like, how do you create more time in your day? None of us can get around that. So, you know, I just share these kind of lessons and things that come top of mind when I think, how do I be more productive? Because there are a lot of different productivity hacks, but a lot of the basic ones, you know, the ones that you hear over and over again, are the ones that matter the most. Like, don't get addicted by your phone and create time in your day. You don't have to go to everything you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every text immediately when it's sent to you. You don't even have to say yes to friends in some cases. If you can explain to people what your goals are and you have aspirations to be in a different group or to achieve this big thing, and the people around you have not achieved that thing and are not conducive to your goals, well then if you want to get to your goals, by definition, they aren't conducive. You have to stay away from them. You have to avoid whatever things that those people are doing. I'll leave you with this. If you want to live an exceptional life, an extraordinary life, you have to be outside of the ordinary. You have to be the exception. And so maybe you look up to me online as being somebody who's successful in YouTube or successful in making money or successful in business. Just understand that for all the things that I'm successful with, there are many things that you might assume about me that seem basic to the human experience, to, you know, the experience of a 22-year-old male in the 2000s living in, you know, the United States. Many of the things you might assume are basic about me, I just completely lack. Like skills that I just completely lack. You know, in order to achieve the things I have by my age, I haven't done more than you per se. I've done different. And so, you know, I don't go out, I don't drink, I don't party, I don't keep in contact with many of my friends because many of my friends are not conducive to my goals, you know, and we can go down the list and you can make judgments about that and choose if that's the life that you want. But I'm just saying what it is. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying this is what's worked for me. And I make these videos because I want you to understand what it takes and to understand the costs better and to make more informed decisions. And hopefully this helps you, whether in business and life, just make better decisions that are more true to you. Because I think that's what it's all about. It's not about doing something because you saw somebody do it online or doing something because somebody told you to do it. It's doing something because it's true to you. And so I have no issue staying in or saying no to, you know, friends in some situations or not doing these things because that's not authentic to me. And I've lived, you know, periods of my life where I do things that aren't authentic to me. Because other people are doing it. I know how that makes me feel, and I would want you to live a life that's true to yourself, even if it's not the same as mine. Does that make sense? A little bit of a yap. Live your life, do what's best for you. Hopefully this helps you be more productive and achieve your goals regardless of what you want. I'll be talking more about productivity in the future. Let me know what resonated most with you in this video, and I'll make more stuff on it. Peace.